Who's ready for some pulled pork? Because I can tell you, these butts couldn't get any easier. Let's get cooking. All right, the first thing we want to do to prep our Boston butt, I've got them cut out of the pack here. You can see one butt is a little bit bigger than the other one. I'm gonna say one's a little over 8 pounds and one's a little over 7 pounds, according to the pack, me just looking at them and standing over them. Now I'm gonna do these butts a little bit differently. I'm gonna cook about 250 degrees, and now this is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna trim these butts, the fat cap off of them, do a little bit of trimming on them, get them on my wire rack here, kind of inject them, season them down. And we've got a cold temp out here tonight. Right now we're running, honestly, it's probably 35 degrees outside out here right now. So I'm gonna trim these butts, cover them up, let them sit on the counter, and I'm gonna set an alarm and I'm gonna get up and stick them on my Traeger probably somewhere in the neighborhood about 3 in the morning, if I had to guess. And so I'm gonna let them roll and we'll get up and wrap after that. Let's get started trimming. Now you can see this butt right here has kind of got some fat veins. I want to make sure I'm going to take that off. Now, I'm not going to trim a lot off of these butts, but getting that kind of veins and fat off is not going to hurt anything. I'm going to come down here on my money muscle. It's always a glob of fat right there. Get some of that off the top of there. Now, kind of lay down some butchered paper to keep from having to double clean my cutting board. It also kind of keeps helping it sliding around so much. So I'm going to start over here and go under this fat cap. Now it helps if your pork is really cold, and it does help because we're outside today, like I said, and it's so cold. Now you see, this is what we call the false cap right here. I'm going to go on under that a little bit. Then we're back in pure fat again. I'm sure some people's going to be screaming, "Oh, you're getting rid of the meat." You do you, I'm doing me today. Now I'm saving that fat because I'm going to use it later. Doing some grinding and stuff on some other trimmings. That's why I don't mind it. Now a lot of times you don't have to trim the fat off your butts if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. But I'm just trying to expose it, get a little more bark on that butt. I mean, who don't like good bark? And like I said, I'm not worried if I get a little bit of meat like that. Not worried at all, because I'm gonna, like I said, use it in some grindings later. Now I'm gonna take and kind of go around this right here, just kind of get some of the sharp edges off. I'm gonna come right here and kind of get a little bit of that pocket, just to kind of round that off there. Now, I've probably done a little more trimming than a lot of people's gonna wanna do. It's completely up to you of how much you trim. I could keep hacking away in here and that butt would just keep getting longer and longer. It's completely up to you of how you do it. Now, I'm gonna get this butt over here. I tell you what, I am gonna do one more little trim right here. See how this fat vein right here, this is gonna be your money muscle right here, what we honestly concentrate on in that competition barbecue. We want that in the box. But you know, money muscle, these fibers that kind of separate them, it's so good when you can take that and get it off of that butt and then break it into chunks, all natural. That makes one of the best sandwiches you can ever eat if you're lucky enough to pull that whole thing off and you're the one cooking it. That right there, no doubt, one of the best pieces of this butt. But where I'm going at, I'm gonna get this little bit of fat vein right there that I didn't like. Yeah, a lot better. Let's get it over here. All right, once we've knocked out some simple trimming on our butts, I'm gonna keep this real simple. I could go in here and cut off a little bit more of this fat out of here, but I'm not. That butt will relax even more. I'm gonna use a little bit of pork injection in this butt. It's completely up to you if you use this step or not. Now my pork injection is gonna ensure that that butt stays moist, tender, juicy, and packed full of flavor. It's even got a little bit of bacon flavoring in here, but I don't tell everybody that. So be sure you don't spread the word, because that's what makes my injection different from everybody else's, guaranteed. I've already got it mixed up, 1/4 cup to 16 ounces of water. Now, let's get in here, get some injection in this butt, get ready to get a little rub on. Kind of see, I'm just kind of making a little checkerboard pattern, kind of going around here. All right, now I'm gonna flip that butt over, see if I can't get 2 more needles in this side. Go in from the end down here under the bone. I'm gonna say that butt right there is ready to roll. Now I'm gonna get it to the side, get my other butt injected, and get ready to throw down some seasoning. All right, as you can see, I don't have a clean hand, so let me change gloves. Beep. Don't want the glove police on me. All right, now that we injected our butts, I've just kind of took my hand and kind of rubbed over this butt. And I'm gonna start on the bottom side, or the side that's gonna be down on the grill. I'm gonna get a base layer down of garlic jalapeno. Now I'm going kind of heavy because I love a little bit of spice in my life. You use whatever AP rub you like, or don't use any, completely up to you. I'll sneeze on this jalapeno powder. Now, once I get it covered in my garlic jalapeno, I'm gonna come back with my pecan rub. And no, it does not contain nuts. It's just a flavoring that we use in this. So you're safe to use it if you have a nut allergy. Whew, I wish y'all could smell this. Get it seasoned up real good. Now we got everything patted in real good. I'm gonna move this to the side, get this other butt patted in. Remember, you gotta rub it before you pat it. All right, I'm gonna start on the ends here. A little garlic jalapeno. Yep, once you get that good base layer on, let's come back with that pecan rub. Now that you got that one patted in, I'm gonna let them rest. Make sure my Traeger Ironwood XL is filled up with some good royal oak charcoal pellets, and get ready to put these things on later tonight. Let's get everything checked. Filled up with the good stuff. Almost time to start cooking. All right, we are out here, and I did not show putting these butts on because I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I fired up my pit last night at 10 at 200 degrees, bumped it up to 250 last night about 1, got up about 2, come out here, put the butts on. It is exactly 8:02 in the morning, and so we're looking at 4 hours in, right? No, excuse me, 6 hours in. Where's my mind at? We're 6 hours in, and according to the probe, we're hitting 161 degrees. Now I can tell you these butts look fabulous. Now remember, we're using those royal oak charcoal pellets. And so that thing's at 161. Let's take our thermopin here. And we're gonna be pretty dang close at that 161. And see, the probe's in a different spot, so I'm gonna say we're pretty much dead on around that 160 degree mark, and it's time to wrap this butt. Now this little bit of a smaller butt, it is hitting close to 170. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my probe out. And I've got me a disposable aluminum pan. I'm gonna take both of these butts up and get them off this rack here. Take them over the cutting board and let's wrap them up. All right, now as y'all can see, I've got a pan underneath this foil, and what I have done, I've kind of crisscrossed it. I've laid a strip this way, and I'm gonna come back and lay a strip and make like a cross. And so when I do that, we'll take this big bud here, I'm gonna lay down in the middle of that. Now, one of the first things I want to do, I'm going to take a little bit more of this pecan rub, and whatever rub you're using, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more on there for a little bit more flavor. Now, I'm going to come back with some of this Tangy vinegar barbecue sauce. You use what you like. I've wrapped with butter bath, I've wrapped with barbecue sauce, I've wrapped with butter, honey, and brown sugar. I've done a little bit of everything. It's completely up to you of whatever flavor you want to impart. I'm also going to use some of my new brown sugar honey habanero glaze. So this gives it a good sweet kick, just what I'm looking for. Once we get that done up, I'm going to wrap this butt good and tight. We'll seal the ends up this way. Then I'm going to come and turn my foil up. Nothing wrong with double wrapping a butt just to ensure nothing pokes through the foil. Let's get this back on our Traeger. Get this other butt wrapped up anyway. Get them both back on the Traeger. Get them set. I'm going to bump that temp pump to 275 degrees to finish them off. We should be able to pull them off around 100, maybe about 200 degrees, something like that, 202, something like that. And we'll get them off. They should be probe tender. Let's get them on. Now, as you can see, I'm going back on with these. Now, I have had on, you can see I have had on some kind of knit gloves underneath my gloves here so I could pick everything up. I don't want you to think my hands were made of steel because they were not. Now, I'm going to take my probe here. I better wipe it off. It fell on the ground. I'm going to insert it in this small butt. Now, I'm going right through the foil. You do what you want to do. That's just what I'm doing. I'm going to get this grill lid shut. I'm going to bump it back up to 275 and let her finish out. We'll be back when the alarm goes off. All right, our one butt right here, the smaller one, was hitting 204 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and get it off, set it in a pan over here. I stuck my probe in the bigger butt. It's at 192 degrees. I'm gonna let my grill lid back down and let it keep cooking. I'm just gonna let this one butt hang out here. I'm not gonna put it up or anything. I'm gonna let it start cooling down, keep it wrapped in a foil, leave it alone till this other butt comes off. So give it about another 30 minutes and I'm gonna say that butt will be done too. All right, it's been actually another 25 minutes. This bigger butt, which was about 8 pounds, maybe a little over, is hitting 205 degrees. I let it creep up on me. I'm gonna go ahead and set it off. Get it with one hand here. Set it in my pan. Kind of get my probe out of the way. Now, get my grill lid shut. I'm gonna let those butts rest for about another 30, 45 minutes, and I'm gonna get into one. All right, we are back. Our butt has rested about an hour. And so total cook time on these butts, I put them on at 2 a.m. This smaller butt, I'm gonna say weighs about 7.5 pounds, and this weighs 8.5 to 9 pounds. You know, just according to the pack and picking them up and all that kind of stuff. And so this butt right here had about an 8-hour cook time, with a bigger butt had about a 9-hour cook time, about an hour longer. So I cooked my pork, both of them, to around 204, 205 degrees. Like I said, let it rest about an hour. Let's get in here and see what this butt looks like. Now remember, I double foiled this thing. Ooh, I wish y'all could smell this. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, I'm gonna take and set this back in here, and I'm gonna reach in here and pull this butt out. So, just get that blade bone right there. Get it right out of there like that. Look at that. The meat come right off, all clean. Take that butt right there and just start pulling it apart. Oh yeah. Look at how them tubes and all that right there just, you know, I talked about those natural breaking points yesterday in that money muscle. That's one of them right there. Right there. There's one of those natural breaking points. And you know, for me to snap that off, we got to try that bark right there. Y'all, I'm telling you, the vinegar sauce with a brown sugar honey habanero glaze wrapped in it. It gives this butt an incredible flavor. Wow, incredible. Look, I've got me a half pan here. You can kind of see I'm gonna start picking my stuff apart. Getting any big fat pieces out or anything like that I need to get out, I'm just gonna keep shredding here. So remember, this butt had a total cook time of about 7.5, 8 hours, the smaller butt did. And so all we did was take it, rub it down with a little garlic jalapeno rub. We come back with a little pecan rub. We put it on our Traeger at 2 a.m. Let it cook. 6 hours later, we got out here and wrapped these butts up. A little bit of brown sugar honey habanero and a little bit of tangy vinegar barbecue sauce. When we got done with that, we stuck them back on the grill and let them cook to 205 degrees. Now we've let this small butt rest about an hour, and look at that. That's just picked right apart. That's what you want, just right apart. Now, I'm taking this pulled pork right here. I'm gonna make us some sandwiches. May even use some leftovers for some nachos. So, this other butt here, I'm gonna let it cool down. I'm gonna pull it, and who knows, I'm gonna save a little bit of it to make me a good Brunswick stew. Hope you're gonna be ready for that recipe. I'm gonna keep pulling this butt here like I said. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow along with your friends, because I can't keep on talking. It's time to get to eating. Be sure to follow along. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, and of course YouTube. I'll see you next week with another video.